Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have an article for you guys from Mike over at Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys could check it out. So the 5 takeaways from Verizon's analyst event. So for those of you who watched the recent video of mine, Verizon had an analyst day on the 5th of February. Didn't really learn a lot new, but we got some additional insights and confirmation on Verizon's short-term strategy. And they did shift around some leadership that I didn't mention in my first video. They did some additional changes on the leadership chain. Not the big ones, right? Sampath is still in charge of CEO of Consumer Group. Kyle is still in charge of business. Joe is still in charge of network. So they didn't shift anything there, but they shifted some other positions. So Verizon didn't disclose any major new objective or strategy, but company officials provided updates on Verizon leadership team and its private wireless sales, its fixed wireless efforts, and more. So this is one of the changes that they made. The Verizon's EVP and Chief Strategy Officer is the latest to depart the company. So they replaced her, and it was like 3 or 4 other positions. So the first part here is the team continues to change. That's the first takeaway there. Like I said, they did make some changes. Hans is continuing to move pieces and stuff around. Now, of course, they're not disclosing if these positions were forcefully removed, if they voluntarily went into retirement. Who knows at this point? But Hans is making change still at the top. The second one, private wireless and edge computing will be a thing eventually. Right now, for me, that's a dud. It's just too small of scale. It has no meaningful impact right now on Verizon's finances, balance sheet, anything. Eventually, it will. So they're building towards that with the edge intelligent network and all that stuff. But I think that's more of a way future technology that's just not realistic or being realized right at this moment. So the third one, so FWA remains a bright spot. So I wanted to talk about that a bit more. So one thing that they did mention at the earnings, not the earnings, at the analyst day, when Joe Russo presented, he did say millimeter wave is still a big focus for the company. So they will continue to deploy that and use that spectrum asset to further grow FWA. He did discuss that. We kind of already knew that. They are right now the biggest deployer of millimeter wave in the industry anyway. So he talked about the multi-dwelling units, the MDUs. He did talk about that, individual deployments. They're trialing that. I put that in the video a few weeks ago. So they are willing to put dedicated millimeter wave, whatever, radios, whatever they need to deploy at those multi-dwelling units. They are willing to put that investment in there to get the millimeter wave deployment going. Like I said, I still don't know what that looks like. Are they putting millimeter wave nodes around the multi-dwelling units? Are they literally putting it inside? I don't know. They're still not clarifying that. Even at this analyst day, that wasn't clarified. But they are using millimeter wave to their advantage, and that's a pretty big deal, in my opinion, and shows how serious they are in the FWA space beyond just the 4 to 5 million. They are looking to go way bigger than that. I mean, almost double the size in the short to midterm. So that's a pretty big deal. The fourth one, the end of ACP, has implications for Verizon. They did talk about that briefly. They got a little over 1 million customers. So they did say they would feel some impact. Wouldn't really impact the balance sheet much. The interesting part is, can they retain those customers? Are those customers going to leave? I think that's more of the mission here. Can they keep churn on the ACP customer as low as possible, or will they churn out? My guess, a lot of them will churn out. They will try to seek something similar to what they had, a cheaper deal with another provider. So I do think they will accumulate some churn from the ACP customer if that program does run out. And the last one, the fifth one here, which I think is also a very important one, Verizon is going to refresh its brand. So recently, Verizon got a new chief marketing officer, Leslie Berlin, I think is her name, and they are going to refresh the brand. He didn't give any hints on what that looks like. We don't know yet. I did see like a press release of, watch us on 2/11/24. So that's the Super Bowl, the big game. So maybe we start seeing the refresh of the brand at the Super Bowl game. That would be, I think, the biggest stage to do it on if they're going to refresh the brand. They said they would. Hopefully that looks something totally different. I think that's also an issue. Not just the pricing perception issue they had in the market, but their brand is also down. So they need a refresh. They got the most money. They spend big, so why not? Why not refresh? And really, now I hope that this refresh is not to rebrand the company as this big premium product. I hope that's not it. I know they have to separate their brands, and they have to really let the market know, okay, Total by Verizon, Visible, all of that is value, and Verizon is premium. But I hope they don't fully refresh the brand just based on premium. They already had a pricing perception, and they admitted that at the analyst day. That's why they introduced the My Plan, to come down in price a bit compared to competition. But, the others are getting better in network. Verizon is still the premium standard according to scientific testing, but the others are getting better. And in many cases, is the difference really big enough to call to, the cost for 30, 40 bucks more potentially with another carrier when you can do similar tasks on the network that's cheaper? That's going to be a big question to ask, that consumers are going to ask themselves through 2024, 2025 and beyond. And we'll see the outcome at the quarterly earnings. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're concerned about the leadership continuing to change at Verizon. Let me know what you think about the refresh in the brand. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.